Today's guest is someone who built his advisory business the hard way. No warm leads, no family raffles, just grit, roadshows, cold calls, and the confidence to show up when nobody knew his name. Before joining the financial industry, Eric was a dolphin trainer and then a facility manager. Not your typical route, but maybe that's exactly why he's different. Today, he's a multi-year MDRT and COT achiever, and he prides himself on one thing: salesmanship. In this episode, we unpack what that really means. Is it all wayang? Can core market clients become real relationships? And what's his take on luxury, cars, trust, and building a business from scratch? Let's dive into this no-holds-barred conversation with Eric. Welcome to the Perspective Podcast, Eric. Can I start by asking you to do an introduction to the audience?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Eric. I'm a manager with Income Advisory Financial Advisors. So thanks for having me here, Victor. So just a little bit more about myself. Before I joined the insurance industry, I was actually I started off as a dolphin trainer. So I was a trainer in Underwater World Singapore for about a year plus. And the reason why I was a dolphin trainer is because previously, back in the Navy, I was actually a naval diver. So I thought maybe finding a job that is closely related to the sea would be, applicable lah. So I decided to join, but I didn't join as a trainer at first. I was actually, joining to be a diver to clean the pool lah, basically. But unfortunately, they were short-handed on trainers, so like kena con lah. So in the end, I went for the interview and come out as a marine mammal trainer. Yeah, so dolphin trainer.
So when you join, they told you specifically that you come and clean the pool.
Yeah. So on the job description, it was like pool cleaning. About just the hours. It's nothing to do with working with animals. Yeah. So that was what I was told. But eventually, I went in. Head first. It was my first full-time job. And okay, you know what? Let's just give it a try. And I did it for a year. Best year ever. I had really great fun. Although I had OT a lot, but it was really nice. Working with animals lah. They are really very beautiful creatures. Dolphins are really very beautiful and very smart creatures. And it's very different from your dog or your cat, right? They are very intelligent. They know your next move before you actually tell them anything. So there are my experience. There are trainers that they are easy to bully, right? So because I was new. So any I would say command or behaviors that I instructed the dolphin to do, I just don't listen. I tell them to say they swim well. Yeah. So so basically that was my first job, and then subsequently I went over to work in the facilities management line. I studied building management back in my poly days, and I because my dad wanted me to do something that is more grounded, more related to what he was doing. He was in the building line as well. So I studied that, and I did that for about 3 to 4 years, thereabouts.
But before that, can I interject? So what made you then leave the dolphin trainer's job?
Oh yeah, so unfortunately, when I was over there, we were doing a lot with the not bottlenose dolphins, but the pink dolphins. So they dwell within seawater, and what happened is that we use this ozone chemical to clean the seawater, and apparently I was allergic to that chemical.
Wow.
So I had a bad outbreak of eczema on my feet. So it's so bad, like, when I wake up early in the morning, if I go to work, right? I just step on the floor, on my leg bleed really. So I lift my leg up, and I see the blood on the floor and kind of thing. So it was to that kind of extent. So my mom told me to, just go find another job lah. I mean, she don't want to see me in pain all the time. Yeah.
So which is worse? You're from the NDUs.
Yeah.
So your health week is worse or
well, I would say health week is definitely worse for sure. But when we're out of the force and you're civilian life, right, you become more pampered lah. Natural, right? In the force, maybe you very garang but then when you are out in society, right, you tend to be more I would say more comfortable, and you want to do things more comfortably.
Okay. So I interjected you earlier. So
yeah, sure.
You're saying after that you move into facility management.
Yeah. So I went over to do building management because that's what I learned. And I was there for about 3 to 4 years. I was managing quite a few facilities at that point of time. One of which being Changi Prison. I did manage Changi Prison for a while. Yeah, I didn't stay there. I was managing the place. Yeah. So for about a year plus before I went to manage condo management.
I see.
So I had a diversified portfolio at that point of time. Yeah.
Okay.
And so after that, when I was back in when I went back for reservists,
Yeah.
so I seen a lot of my batch boys, those that with me, only have like 3 to 4 very specific occupations. So my batch had about 79, had 79 divers that passed out. So about 30% of them were in property. About 40% of them were in finance, insurance, banking.
Okay.
And another 25% was doing their own business. And I belong to the minority that we were being fully employed. And I see them, coming back to camp in their BMW, in their Merc, and doing well for themselves. So I asked myself, hey, actually, what am I doing?
Okay.
Why not I try lah? I mean, at that point I was 26 at that point of time. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll just give it a try lah. So I asked my friend at that point of time, is there any opening for OCBC Bank? So I decided to try out to be a banker basically. And the thing is that 3 days before I started the training, my wife lah, okay, my then girlfriend's good friend's boyfriend was in Aviva Financial Advisors, now Singlife Financial Advisors. So he spoke to me, and in the end, counter offered me, telling me that essentially in a bank and in the insurance industry, insurance company, you are doing the same thing, more or less. So, but the remuneration is vastly different. So I said, why not? I mean, I had nothing to lose, wanted to try, and went in head first without a second thought. And yeah, so that was back in 2016, and fast forward today has been 8 years in the industry.
Wow,
Yeah.
actually quite long already. Anyway, just a quick background also. Actually, I didn't know Eric before that. In fact, we were from the same previous shop lah.
Yes.
Then now we are colleagues, also fellow first year managers in a way, right? Why I think Eric is really someone that we can learn and really have a lot of wisdom to really extract out from. It's because I actually recently approached him and then asked him, hey bro, can you share with me how then do you run your business, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then he was sharing with me how he actually do approach, and also because of his background lah. So later I think we will explore a bit further into those areas where he was previously working in a space where they work on roadshows, and then after that he transited into cold callings and stuff. So I believe, especially if you are an FA, right, then you would have a lot of wisdom that you want to extract out from him. And just for your information, he's multiple years MDRT, and I think the past 2 years you were COT, right?
Yeah, I managed to get caught off table lah.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, a lot of people like, wow, COT, co-market, not easy, right? So that's why I feel that there's a lot of wisdom that I would want to unpack in you. Okay, so I think we now have a rough understanding of your background from NDU, NSF, right?
Yes, I was NSF.
NSF, NDU, then going into dolphin trainer, and then facility manager, and actually wanted to go into banking.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Earlier mentioned you OCBC.
I wanted to join OCBC as a personal financial consultant. Then subsequently, just before the training, I decided to try out insurance directly instead.
So that was how you started.
That was how I started. Hey, first, no knowledge of the industry, and no preference, I would say.
I see. Then can we maybe dive into this since
sure.
you were already talking about this part, right? So when I first joined the industry, I think one of the biggest question that comes to mind is, hey, how do I then conduct my business? So generally in the industry, people will think, I want to go co-market or work market, right? So for me, I initially thought that I want to go into co-market because I also can kind of just talk to anybody. I'm quite sociable if I want to be. But then at the same time, I think about it deeper, and I realized that, okay, I want to go into one market. Maybe because for me, I got a lot of ego. I must go one market. You look down on me, it's okay. But then I feel that there's growth. Right, so today, I want to explore a different lens and perspective, especially if someone with your track record, right, going into co. Can you share with us what made you then decide to go into specifically Aviva, FA, right?
Yes.
And also the co-market.
Okay, so to be very honest with you, I don't know what I don't know lah. So actually, when I went in, all I knew was that they said two things. Number one, you do not need to approach your people that you know, and you will be doing a lot of, which is number two, roadshows. So for me, it was like I was like a blank piece of paper then. So like I said, I don't know what I don't know. So I said I go in and just try lah. So I didn't choose to do co-market, but rather the co-market chose me. Like okay lah, let's just try lah. Okay, so I went in. I was from Viva FA, specifically Peter Tan organization previously. So had a great mentor, had a great I would say synergy with my colleagues at that point of time to work with. And the thing about this is that my first dab into the coal market was actually doing canvassing. So it's your typical outside the shopping center, you're doing your survey, you're prospecting. So the thing about this is that I didn't expect, or at least I didn't know what to expect. So I went down there with almost a full suit kind of thing, because I thought as a consultant you need to be very prim and proper. But when I went there, most of my colleagues were in like polo tee and jeans. So I asked them, hey, like that can I wear like that? Then they say, you like that not hot man? Then I'm like, very hot lah, but you all wear like that. Then
so you showed up in what?
Like a shirt. I didn't have a tie.
So you feel out of place.
I was very out of place. I was like I was the only insurance agent there. That's all I can say. And then the rest,
only one that looks like a
yes, correct. The rest of them were like, in polo tees. And so to me, it was a very big culture shock.
Okay.
So the only way that I could do at that point of time was to observe.
Okay.
So I stood there and I saw how they prospected, and I got a shock of my life. I'm literally no different from like a promoter, in any place, right? So really trying to reach out to the masses. So what happened was I was blessed to have an ex-colleague of mine. He actually was there, saw me not knowing what to do, and he really showed me the ropes in a way. So that's how I started. And the first 3 months I did that, as well as pivoted to some road shows here and there, and I didn't earn much. I think I earned a couple $100 within that 3 months. We do have a business allowance package, but I'm talking about just purely commission, and because at the end of the day, our package only runs for 1-2 years, then it's purely on commission. So I did my best and really tried prospecting and really reaching out every day, just being on the ground and doing and getting road shows. My breakthrough came only when I did a major roadshow.
Okay.
It was Audio House back in 2017 actually. So maybe it's because I had some experience on the ground already. So that particular day was a good day. I came early.
How long until then?
That period about maybe 2.5 months, closing to 3 months. I remember it was about on the third month.
Okay.
And I went down to the roadshow early, and what happened was there was this guy walking down. So I just pointed. I just wanted to engage, but by luck or by fate, he sat down. Okay. And I just had a talk. I introduced myself. This is what I do. And eventually he got a case with me. And I got a shock of my life. I honestly didn't know what I said right or wrong. Yeah. So, but I was grateful at that point of time that I had my manager's backing, and I also spoke to him while I conversed, and he told me, no, you're on the right track. You just need to do it more, and you need to prospect more. And from there, I really continued finding roadshows like this.
Is that like your first big case, or is that like your first?
It was my first decent sized case. I remember it was a 6K per year premium.
I see.
But it was a monthly case, $500 a month. But it was good. And I mean, ultimately, it was something that I never expected to have a closure. The previous cases were like probably some accident plan and probably like a shoe plan. So that's how it chalked up to that few $100, right? So this was like a decent size case in terms of the commission, as well as in terms of the case of the size of the case.
Actually, it sounds very interesting, because you see earlier, right, what I picked up is you went in there with just a very pure intention of just connecting.
Yes.
And then just boom, magic happens. Right?
Yes.
Like you all just connected, and then it lands with a case.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So I think on this, right, I actually have a question. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people have these thoughts that co-market, right, are just purely transactional.
Okay.
There is no relationship in co-market. You essentially don't find out. It's like, oh, okay, you want a product, this is the product, take it, then So what do you have to say about it, especially now that you have so many years of experience in it, right?
I mean, I have 8 years of experience in it. Definitely, there's more to learn. But let me bring you back to a very simple analogy. Let's talk about orientation. When you first, let's say if you are in poly, right, or you are meeting everybody for the first time, that is also people that are cold that you don't know. So you are literally introducing yourself. You are, sharing more about yourself, and that's where you engage with people, and people of the same chemistry, the same I would say mentality probably will click together, and that's where bonds are formed. And this itself is a transaction. It's an emotional transaction.
Okay.
Leading to that will be how you foster that friendship, when you build over the years. You study together, you after school, go hang out somewhere, go eat together. So these are the rapport that is being built over time that strengthens the foundation of the friendship, that converts your cold to your warm. So similarly for a client, it's the same logic. Today, the people that you meet anywhere are people that you don't know, people that you're engaging for the first time, and you want to have a relationship with them. So by building a relationship with them, you do a very simple financial planning with them. Maybe they want to take up probably a shoe plan, do a elder shoe upgrade, for example. But that created the first bond, the first linkage. Is from that point, how do you actually explore further to build that relationship through your financial reviews on a half-yearly basis or yearly basis? And that's where the bond is formed, and that's where your cold transits to become your warm.
I see. So if I'm hearing it correctly, right, essentially everything in life, like it or not, there is some form of transaction involved, right?
Yes.
So in a way, it's an exchange of values. The first thing that you need to put on the table is actually value.
Yes,
and then only
right.
from there, when you constantly value add, right, that's where a relationship is formed.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. I mean, because a lot of people were like, okay then sell and forget.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
sell, then don't service, and
Correct.
then they don't know go where.
Correct.
And because in this industry, the turnover rate is also really high.
Yes, it is.
So I think these are sadly the stigma, and it shapes certain perspectives of things as well, right? So on the cold market, right, roadshow and cold calling. So you did both roadshow and cold calling, right?
Yes, that's right.
Is there any stark difference between these two modality?
Oh, for sure. Roadshow is very face-to-face, right? So you can actually gauge based on your experience, how to engage with this profile in terms of their expression, their body language, the things that they say, right? But over the phone, it removes one core element, and that's body language. You are unable to gauge the body language of someone. That is very difficult for you to form up a profile, build a profile of that person. So with that gone, the thing that you need to enhance is your tonality, the way that you talk, the content that you say, whether it engages immediately with the person over the phone, whether it piques their attention. Yeah. So for I would say telemarketing, cold calling, as well as roadshow, is two different skill sets. But ideally, they come together because after you meet the person for the first time, let's say you manage to get the contact number and everything, it essentially is a cold call because you need to follow up, you need to do it. So it comes together, but separately, it can be individually used to acquire leads, acquire contacts. And from there, using both skill set. When you do a cold call and then subsequently when you meet with that person, then it translates to a roadshow appointment, for example. So at the end of the day, it's two separate things. Yeah.
Actually, one thing that I also want to pick your mind on is a lot of people see things in very black and white in a way, right? So for example, cold market, warm market.
Yes.
But then is it really a case that cold market will always be cold? Or actually, in a way, I mean, in our own separate conversation, we have spoken about this before,
Yes,
right? Actually, cold market eventually becomes your warm.
Yes, correct.
That's assuming you service them properly.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's your take on this? Do you agree? And how do you then, do you see yourself still doing the cold market or actually you're actually in the warm market already?
Okay, so actually the whole idea of the cold market kind of was created because there are people who do not want to prospect their own family members, their friends, their relatives. So the idea of the cold market was created that the bigger population, the other people, right? But essentially, cold market is just people that you don't know. Warm market is just people that you know, right? And at the end of the day, when you have built enough trust, when you actually provide enough certainty to someone that you don't know, eventually become someone that you know. So the stigmatism comes when in our industry, like let's say as a friend, let's say you know that I'm in insurance, I chew you out for coffee. You know that it's gonna be probably a insurance supplier sell me something. So that create a barrier between clients and agents, and it's actually negative on both sides. Let me explain why. If clients, they really need to have protection or maybe want to actually buy something related to wealth accumulation, but they are afraid of agents overselling them or really not selling the right thing, then they do not want to meet them up at all. And this will cause them a negative impact on their lives. On the reverse, if an agent feels that, because, I've known this friend for a long time, if I throw the person out, the person will think, hey, I'm going to throw you out because of want to sell something, then I don't meet that person. So maybe that could have been a sale, but you missed that sale because of this stigmatism. So because of all of these, I would say, examples, that's where we created a whole market for prospecting. But the fact of the matter is this. I would say normally most people that we know usually are realistic, socially realistic. So if you do well, right, people will approach you, right? So the idea of having a whole market to prospect and you are able to sell to them and really do well for them, then people that you know will eventually approach you. So to me, Warm has always been on the way by the way because of what I did, how I branded myself and how I, sell to people, they like my service. That's where I refer, and subsequently, my own friends, my own family hear about it. Okay, they will want to talk to. So this is how I would segregate these two factors. I would say it's a transition rather than two different categories.
Okay. Yeah, I think that helps because a lot of people, I would say a lot of people but my own sense is now that I'm in the industry for about 4 years, this is my 4th year mark, right? There are still a lot of that advisors that when I interact with them, they see it very clearly, very binary. It's either cold or warm.
Yeah.
But actually, it's a journey. And then if they understand this, actually it helps you in your actions. How then do you do the service?
Yes.
How do you ensure business longevity?
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, today I have a lot of tough questions.
Sure, no problem.
For you, one of the things is when I first asked you to help me share your business model and help me train my team because we need to follow up.
Yeah.
Right? I have no experience in those things, right?
Correct.
Then I'm like, wow, this guy is the Wolf of Wall Street, man. Real life one. So, and then when I spoke to you and tried to understand a bit more about you, and you come out to me, what's very strong is your belief in salesmanship. And I had this conversation with you about, actually salesmanship, right, in the eyes of many people, right, it's just wayang, right? So I think this is something that I wanted you to maybe share your perspective and let everybody know, what's another way to actually look at it? And what's your take on this?
I understand. A lot of times when you talk about wayang, it's always about getting some benefit from somebody, right? Be it your boss, be it a friend, with your parents, for example. But actually, at the end of the day, it's about transferring your intent to the other party. Why do I say so? Today, for example, I want to maybe get a raise, right? So I will just wayang with my boss and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, your boss will also need to wayang with you. Why? Because they want you to actually
motivate you,
right?
Oh.
Right. So it's in a way it's a two-way conversation.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you want to ensure that it's good intent, right? You want to make sure that you let them know, exactly what you want to do. After saying what your rapport and saying what you want to do, then subsequently they will actually, you see how they, how they received it, and then subsequently they reply you, right? So to me, I always feel that if your intent is clear, whatever that you say, will essentially make sense. If your intent is clear, unless you have bad motives, right? So you are saying if it's wayang, then I'm guilty of it. I've been doing my whole life, right? Be it to a friend or be it to anybody. Like I want to show somebody go drink bubble tea, I will say, I now got promotion. Now got 1-for-1, right? And then got new drink come out, right? So I will sure ask them, hey, come, let's go, correct? But essentially, back to the point of salesmanship, right? Whatever that you say here is salesmanship. Why? You sell a need. What's the need? 1-for-1, right? And then I want to drink bubble tea. Subsequently, what is the strong point? LiHo, good strong brand, then got a lot of flavors, then got, like all the different pearls, you can choose the aloe vera topping or that kind of thing, and it's very refreshing, so that's the strong point of the company, right? Then subsequently, a story, right? So 1-for-1, maybe it's long time that I drink bubble tea already. So come on, let's go, nearby only, right? So even this something like this, there is salesmanship involved. So salesmanship is used throughout our entire lives. So, which means to say, right, if you don't use the word wayang, right, means we have been wayang our entire life. Lah. It's how only, yeah.
Actually, very interesting because when I first joined the industry, right, then I hear lah, like, hey, you got sales experience, right? I said, hey, you ever had a need in your life before? Say, for example, you want to go to zoo. Then you have to convince your parents to bring you to zoo when you were younger.
Yeah.
That's salesmanship. The fact that you can actually convince somebody to do something that you want, right? Actually, that in itself is sales. Yes, right? You're selling an idea, you're convincing the person. Actually, the way you describe to me, it sounds more like connecting with purpose and intention.
Yes, that's right.
And then when you immerse in that connection, right, then you naturally will be a bit more, maybe for some people, they call it wayang or they you exaggerate this and that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now that you explain it in your definition, I can see it in that lens now. Well, okay, thanks for sharing, man. So, salesmanship, right? Is there a deeper skill set, right, in it, right, that people are missing? Maybe more specifically, right? Because of your background, you were previously from PTO, right?
Yeah.
People keep, when they say PTO, then they keep thinking what? NLP, right? Neuro-linguistic programming, right?
Yeah.
So, what's your take on NLP? Because if you take it to another extreme lens, right, you can also see it as like manipulation and stuff. So what do you think about NLP? What's your take on this? Is it like ethical or unethical?
Okay, so firstly, for neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, is something that is very, very closely related to how you sell. Because it's how you present yourself, how you handle objection, how you ensure that your product, your solution caters to your client's needs. But at the end of the day, NLP is a tool. Let me give you an example. Today, let's say I have a knife on the table, right? Now, if today I'm a chef, so I will use the knife to chop vegetables, right? So it's a good intent, cook something good. But today, if I'm a murderer, what will happen? I'll take the knife and I go and start to some people already, correct? So what this means is that it's a tool that is dependent on the person using it. So it's not about whether is it ethical or whether is it manipulative. It's who is the person actually using it. Whether does he have a good intent, does he have a bad intent. Another example, today let's say I'm broke, I have no money, right? Then suddenly I strike lottery. Now, if all my life I've always been doing charity and I got $1 million, so what happens? So I'll use this $1 million and I will actually reach out to more charities and maybe open a foundation. But today, if let's say I've always been going out, I've always been spending money on whatnots. So if I have $1 million, what will happen? I'll finish everything. So what this means is that it's always a person behind it. If you are good, you become better. If you are bad, you become worse. That's a fact. So NLP is a tool that is used to help salespeople be more engaging towards how you conduct a sale and to allow you to understand the psychology behind a close. So typical things like people like themselves. So what this means? Today, if let's say I'm someone who likes maybe anime, right? Then if I meet somebody who likes maybe cars, maybe we won't connect because it's of two different areas, right? But if let's say that person suddenly talk about Demon Slayer, then suddenly I talk about solo leveling, right? So we have a connection there, yeah.
Well, both also I like.
also like, yeah. So it becomes a connection, right? So instantly, just by saying this statement, suddenly something sparks in your mind and we have a connection, right? So that is always the beginning.
Okay, I can go watch Demon Slayer.
So ultimately, right, it's very important to understand that NLP is always cast on a bad light because there are bad components. For example, gaslighting, right? Doxing, right? So ultimately, you have to know that if you are using this tool, do it right. You yourself have to understand what is the intent behind it. Make sure that is, of course, positive intent, and get things done. We cannot say that this is good or this is bad, but how we use the tool. So that's very important when it comes to wanting to define something as powerful as NLP, I would say. Yeah.
I think ultimately, like what you shared, right, also reminds me of my time in the army, right? So the rifle SAR-21 can be used for multiple purposes.
Yes, that's right.
You can use it to defend and then protect people. You can also use it to terrorize.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So ultimately, it's the same as having the power. In a way, NLP is the tools that gives you some levels of power, right?
That's right.
And it depends on the person itself.
Correct.
So that's really refreshing as well. I mean, that's something that probably a lot of people think but don't say, right?
Yes,
and
that's right.
I'm glad we call it out and you The next thing that I'm going to call out, which I think a lot of people are like, hey, walao, this group of people, wow, so flashy, wow, the car, so, wow, must be milking the clients, this and that. So I understand that you drive a Porsche, right?
Yeah, I do drive a Porsche.
So that's something that people have some negativity on it. So what do you have to say about it? Is it your way of flaunting your wealth or your success?
Okay, so I think the stigmatism, I would say in the past would be that, okay, there are two schools of thought. One is that if today I'm driving a luxury car, this means that, you know what, this person is successful. So that was maybe 20, 30 years ago. Then come 15 years ago, if you are driving a sports car or a luxury car, this guy's showing off, right? So society behaviors kind of change over time, right? But it doesn't change the fact that if today, me as a client, so again, two schools are school A, me as a client, seeing this guy driving a Mercedes E-Class, for example, I know that he's doing well for himself. If he arrives in a Honda Fit, for example, not saying that Honda is not good or what's not good, no, we have no brand ambassador here. Okay, I'm just sharing it as what it is, right? In terms of the social status, right? So I will feel that, okay, this guy doing okay.
Yep.
It's a normal perspective that is ingrained in all our minds in all these years, everybody, right? So the thing about this is that this was too overly used in the past when it comes to a sales agent. It can be any industry, property, car sales, or even insurance. So people overuse it, and thus it became a problem. People will think that you are just showing off.
Yep.
So for me, I always believe in this, right? Whatever whatever car that I buy is of course a reward to reward myself.
Yeah.
My clients don't pick me for the car that I choose, but rather for the service that I deliver, and for anybody for that matter, for any salespeople, whatever car they drive, it's just because they work hard. But it's the service that they deliver that makes the client want to buy from you. People are not going to buy from you just because you drive a luxury car or have a luxury watch. But most importantly, what is the value that you create for them? It's not just about service anymore. It's about what is the solution that you can give to your client that will bring them forward into the future.
Yep.
Like today, if you don't do that, then you can drive a Rolls Royce. No one's going to buy from you.
Yep.
Right? So for me personally, I am driving a Porsche. I mean, at that point of time, I had the luxury to choose other cars as well. But to me, I love the brand, and I wanted to. So people who know me knows that when I buy this car, mine is a Cayman S. Yeah, mine is a mid-engine S 3.4S. So the thing about this is that people who know me. They know that if I buy this car, it's really to really enjoy the car.
Yep.
But of course, from the outlook, it looks good. I know I drive a Porsche, kind of thing. But to me, it's just something that like I said, if you are doing well for your clients, it really doesn't matter what you drive. Of course, a Porsche gets me to the point faster. Yeah, that's about it. Okay.
It's your way of rewarding yourself.
Rewarding, yes.
I want to caveat one thing.
Yes.
He never go to office, take out the Porsche, the key and put there or anything. How did I even know that he drives a Porsche? Remember that day my car got locked inside the space? Yeah, after the next day I think, bro, last night my car got locked. They're like, mine also. They're like, yesterday when I go there, I only see another car. That one is like a Porsche. Then that was how I actually realized that Eric actually drives a Porsche. So I must say, I'm asking you this question just simply because it is this industry. Then if you are talking about salesmanship, you're talking about co-market, there are a lot of this association.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so he's actually a very humble person. I don't think if I ever noticed that if I don't have that sharpness, right, I don't even know that he actually drives a Porsche today. So thanks for being so gay to take on all these questions.
No worries.
I don't think it's easy. So luxury cars, luxury brands, I think, like it or not, it's just your way of rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
And I think this one I also had a separate conversation with you because a few days back, I can't remember really, sorry. I think we had this content day, right? So we also had this conversation about actually your content are good or bad. There's always two camps on.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
Got one camp no matter what you say, right? It's wrong one. They just don't like you. It's the same as what you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So imagine today, right? Let's say you drive a Honda or maybe a less known brand, right? Instead of like saying you humble, right? The group that don't like you, right? What are you gonna say? Walao, this guy not doing well. Lousy, you should leave the industry lah. Walao, I'm not gonna buy from him. So, like it or not, we're not gonna be able to please everybody lah.
Yeah.
So might as well you please yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and just be yourself lah. There's no need to do anything like that, just so that people will be happy.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think maybe I just want to interject that I think it's important that I mean for those viewers out there, right, that are looking at our video right now, I think mental health is really very important. Ultimately, you have to do things that will make you happy. It doesn't matter what. It can be just going to USS and to solo go for all the rides.
Hey, that sounds like somebody I
It's not like somebody that we know. Or it can be like, you know, going travel by yourself, you go overseas. It can be anything, but ultimately, right, it has to be something that you are doing for yourself. And further to that, when you are building your own, it can be your own business, your career, you are employed, right? It's about doing things that will bring you one step closer to your milestone. It should not ever be, oh, because this person is doing this, then I need to do this. Then no point, you're living that person's life. For what? Right? You have to live your own life. You have to do what is good by you, and you keep going from there. And you have a group of people that will be like, you know, that is working together with you or, you know, giving you positive intent. So many little positive intents will actually uplift you. And in summary, the whole idea of mental wellness will be established without you even knowing it.
Oh my God, you get me into the mood. I mean, like the journey for an advisor. I believe this episode, most people that would want to view it, and even look at it until like now, it's like 35 minutes or it's quite long already, right?
Yeah.
They probably are advisors, and they probably can relate that this journey itself is actually very lonely.
Yes,
it's not that easy. So imagine it's already difficult. Then you can't even please yourself. You can't even reward yourself.
Yeah.
And you keep thinking about what will other people think. What you gonna die, man? I don't know how you're gonna go wrong. So from another lens, taking care of your own mental health, right, is actually doing a favor to your clients as well.
Yes.
Because your clients also have enough of the advisors keep changing, ma.
Yes, correct.
Right? So wow, that actually is a really important thing, I think. Pointer to note for the advisors as well. So one last thing I want to ask you, right, is what do you have to say to new advisors? Because now that we are both managers, right, we are also looking at recruitment. Fundamentally, yes, the way in which we run our business may be different, right? But then I do think that your model of the cold calling or going to the cold market, right, actually, I feel helps the advisors that comes in and is lost one, don't know what to do get a head start or at least have some form of direction, right?
Yep.
So what would you say to an advisor that is new, they're scared of like selling or even maybe just reaching out to strangers?
I think for those who who are new, maybe either just graduated or maybe considering a career switch, what I can say is that don't be afraid. I'm 35 this year. When I left where I was previously, I had to restart every single thing. So there's no such thing as, it's too late. So that's number one. I want to get it out of the way. There's no such thing as it's too late. But when you start, be willing to give it your all and really try to do everything. Now, why? Because everything that you do, your roadshow, your cold calling, your referral, and nesting, all will help you in life. Roadshow helps you to meet face-to-face people. When you talk to people or meet people face-to-face, you know what to do. You know how to engage. When you're on the phone calling, it trains your articulation, your tonality, how you actually engage, how you actually make sure what tones will actually help bring you one step closer, either to a close or maybe sharing or convincing your friend to do something with you, right? Referral is where how you meet new people and how you network, which comes to networking, how you actually portray yourself, present yourself in a setting where you're meeting other business people or in a party, things like this. So my advice to new advisors is that today, as long as you're willing to learn and unlearn, you'll be able to have a head start because that is one step ahead already. And ultimately, in the whole market, when you actually do your prospecting, you'll be facing a lot of challenges. You face a lot of roadblocks. Don't be afraid. I mean, ultimately, if be me as a manager, you as a manager, be any of your managers actually bring you in or any mentors actually bring you into the industry, for example, they'll always be there to back you up. And always remember that salesmanship is about people and not products. Once you have the momentum, don't stop. Like momentum is like Netflix binging, right? So once you start, you just keep going. It's a very funny thing. Sometimes people procrastinate for like years. All it takes is just one snap of the fingers, they start on that day, and the magic happens. It is just like that. But in order to start, you must be able to tell yourself there's no tomorrow. Today is day one. There's no more one day. Yeah.
Maybe I got one more question to ask. So, what kind of people are you looking to bring on board your journey? Yeah, so I think it's a good opportunity to also reach out to see whether it's matched, because I don't think it's the case that we are recruiting or getting everybody.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
because not everyone is cut out for this industry. And we don't want to waste people's time as well.
Yes, that's right.
Everyone's life and time is precious.
Yes.
So, is there any specific characteristics or traits that you are looking out for that you want to bring on board?
Well, I'm looking for people who are really driven, people who are very stagnant in their jobs. They want to try something different. My mentorship or guidance is really closely related to salesmanship. Today, I'm looking for people who are, of course, hungry for sales, but more of to build something for themselves in the years to come. Whatever I share, whatever I teach is transferable. It doesn't mean that today you are only able to do this in insurance, but it can be transferred or translated to other industries if you choose to do other businesses or go to other industries in future. So I'm looking for people who are really driven, are willing to relearn everything again. It doesn't matter how old you are. And most importantly, able to have the resilience to actually go the distance with me. I'm looking for partners that will really go with me for the next 10 years, 20 years until we all retire. Because I look at a very different future, a future where we can all really leverage and learn from each other. We all earn money together.
I think that's a testament because you see how we actually started talking and stuff.
Yeah.
You started with the very first organizing the market.
Oh yeah, the drink session.
Right, so this is a space, at least in my opinion, right, where we collab. Like I don't know, I ask you, you share.
Yes.
You know, you ask me, we share. And then in a way it's something that's refreshing and new because at least that's not exactly what I see happening around everywhere.
Yes, that's right. Right.
So maybe in closing, right, do you have any last message or anything you want to say to the audience?
So maybe one last thing is that although life is a journey, it's a marathon, right? But I do feel that you should always sprint your hardest, even though it's a marathon, because the harder you sprint across that short period of time, the faster you can save on the remaining years of your life that you can enjoy or do something you're passionate. So to me is that have a game plan out the next 5 to 10 years. Work hard, find the best way to hustle, find the best way to bring income, find the best way to build. And on the 10th mark, ensure that at that point you can actually build towards your passion. So keep going, don't stop, and tell yourself that if today you are not doing something, I'm sure you don't want to regret tomorrow. And also, I always have a saying that always let yesterday go. If yesterday was a day where you procrastinated, yesterday where you're not doing so well, work on tomorrow. Work on the next day, work on the next week, work on the next month. Keep building 1% until you reach your life milestones.
Oh, thanks so much, bro. So I actually learned a lot today. Like NLP, actually after your description, right, I don't see it as a sales tool. I see it as a communication tool.
It is a communication.
Right? So I hope the audience also took away the same learnings. And also thanks for being so game and on in answering all the tough questions. Like for example, salesmanship, being seen as young, and then also your views on owning luxury cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is really to me an close to heart episode where I'm actually embarking on a new journey with a buddy here.
Yeah.
Like, thanks so much, bro.
No problem. So I think one thing that I wanted to add on was that I think it's very rare to have an organization having all the managers come together to actually collaborate and build something together. I seen it once, and that was my first place. Yeah, and I'm seeing it again here, but it takes everybody's help to build this. So maybe on one last note is that I'm very grateful to be working alongside Victor, and I'm looking forward to having more collaborations and really to exchange of ideas and to build our individual units together as an organization.
I think we're also open to collaboration with like-minded people who
Yeah.
share the same values, right? So
right.
thanks so much, right? Thanks for starting the
No problem. No problem.
All right. Whether you're a new advisor trying to find your edge or a seasoned one rethinking your approach, this episode was a reminder that there's more than one way to succeed. Sales isn't sleazy when it's done with sincerity. Relationships can be built even in cold markets. And ultimately, the path you choose should match your strength, not your fears. Thanks again to Eric for sharing his journey so openly. And if you took away just one insight from today, remember this: the best way to sell is to serve. See you in the next episode of Perspective.